Hi everyone. I know this isn't how I normally treat my YouTube, and I promise videos like these are not commonplace in my content, but I saw another creator make a video on mental health and content creation or VTubing, and I wanted to talk about my own thoughts. I started creating content 2 years ago, January of 2022. The only experiences I had prior were my decade of stage theater, my writing skills, and my love for consuming content. I wanted to make what I had spent so much time consuming, be it goofy videos, let's plays, goofy streams, and dubs for comics, just to name a few. Going into content creation, I expected to be met with not much of a sound, but I got a lot more viewers and followers than I thought. In fact, even at the start, I never averaged below 2 viewers, and I hit affiliate within a month, which I am still quite proud of. I primarily grew myself on Twitter, shitposting my way. Yeah. I began heavily focusing on streaming more, as opposed to any other content. Streaming for me is an outlet to perform, improvise, and be weird. I am not the proudest of my earliest days of content. Looking back, I can acknowledge I was lazy and probably could have done more. I am also not always the proudest of how I acted. I had never properly interacted with others who made content, and I fumbled a lot of opportunities because I wasn't aware of the norms in the space that I was now a part of. I was an immature kid in some regards. A teenager who expected things to just go okay because I was at least doing something. I beat myself up daily for having that mindset. It was the first 7 months of creating content ever for me, and I was still a child in a lot of ways. After those first 7 months, I say seven because I remember it was like July of 2022 that I really fixed my act and treated what I do as something precious and important, as opposed to my do whatever I want, and if stuff fails, complain through Twitter, even though I was the one in the wrong. I still complain on Twitter, but it's, I guess, more in a general sense. And I feel like now I can admit to my failures as a person back then and try not to repeat those mistakes. 2023 was my first full year of actively working incredibly hard to make content I enjoyed and that others happened to enjoy too. I focused more on YouTube and less on streaming and was proud of what I was doing. Okay, this is the time of the video where I want to talk about something I notice is a rampant issue for me and others, and it has deeply affected my mental well being. When I started making stuff, seeing success, and growing, some of those who were by my side during 2022, when I was being lazy, actively cut me off and wouldn't even talk to me when I tried in 2023. It's not that I wasn't trying, I was trying. They just wouldn't respond. And sometimes I was met with a block. I don't think I was being weird, I just wanted to talk to my friend. This started to become most noticeable in September when my YouTube began performing pretty well. Some stopped talking to me because they were growing faster than I, and I didn't view me as worth it, I guess. I don't know. Some people, when they grow, don't interact with other people who are not growing as fast as they are. And it sucks, but I mean, I get it. Looking back now, I feel like I was only kept around by some because I wasn't doing well, and it made them feel better about themselves and their own analytics. I want to just say I don't share my analytics with too many people, but guys, come on. You can actively see when there is an increase in views and subscribers even without an analytics board. I think at some point I went from 1,000 to 2K in a few days, and that is noticeable. Y'all, that's a noticeable number jump. When I lost a lot of my older friends over what I perceived as nothing, it kind of led me into a hole of anxiety where I asked myself, what did I do? I haven't been able to climb out of that hole. I get food tossed every day, but nobody was willing to get help for me or explain what I had done wrong. So I began to sulk and feel bad about myself, and I realized that I was being lazy and I didn't want to repeat that. So I said, fuck those people who left me because I was doing better and you didn't want to see me succeed anyway. But it's also a lot easier to say that than actually let go. A lot of people who reply to like my vent tweets about stuff will say like, oh, they weren't really like there for you anyway. And like, yeah, but it's a lot easier to say that than actually let go. I'm just saying, at least for me. I wanted to talk about the main reason that my mental well-being has been like super bad. I've talked about it in streams, but I think it's important for people to hear this in like a video format. I'm sorry if my audio is not very good. I have a air filter running because my new bed has like a chemical smell and it's not very cool. My dad was like, "It'll go away," and I was like, "Will it? I don't know." Anyway, back to the video. I'm getting off topic. I've made new friends who I care about a lot. But the trauma of being abandoned and not being told what I did wrong still lingers in my brain. And I'm really afraid of being left behind again. There are a lot of other issues like harassment I've received or work forcing me to take a break from content that, yeah, suck, but they haven't affected me as much as being left alone has. I don't plan on quitting. This is how I perform, and this is my biggest creative outlet. I wanted to mention two people briefly. I'm not going to say their names, but I want to compare the difference. Both of these people I supported financially and emotionally, and I tried to be a good friend. The first person, we aren't as close as we were, and that's okay. They helped me realize that ASMR content was what I wanted to do. Even if it was just answering questions I had, they still did it. ASMR is also a way to act and pretend to be a character with a script, and that was a huge pull for me. I had done that for most of my life. Despite doing similar stuff now, they didn't leave me behind. In fact, they just hold me up. They believe in me. The other person, we were friends and we supported each other. They needed help, so I gave what I could, and they inspired me to just kind of embrace my weird side. The last thing they ever said to me was something passive-aggressive and rude. After I had been supportive and tried to cheer them up after something. Granted, it was something small that, I don't know, I just was trying to be nice, and I was met with just mean. They pretend I don't exist now. They refused to communicate to me if I had done anything wrong. Just forcible removal without any warning. If I could ask them anything, I would ask, what did I do to you? I want to know what I did. I am not the same person I was. And I wanted to share that. To show that I am not a victim. And that I am not perfect before. And I wanted to share that before I shared what was really affecting me and making me anxious. This was a hard video to make, but I think it was important. The title of this video can be interpreted in a few ways. And I personally perceive it as, yeah, I was left behind. But I was left to just grow from the experience. Again, I'm sorry if the quality isn't the best. I am dealing with some other stuff right now, and I'm trying the best with what I could. But I wanted to talk about what has been really weighing on me. I know people can remove whoever they want from their communities, and people can do that without saying anything, but I just wish I could have known what I had done. I wish I could go back and ask them how I could make it better. Thank you for listening.